Good morning, guys. You know what today is? It's Monday Morning Chats with Sack, and Sack is me. I hope that you guys had a great weekend. As you can see, I have this pillow, and it says, Love You More. So I just wanted to share some love to all you guys that are viewing this live video, especially with everything going on, and then especially when you look at the news and you're just like, wow, when would it ever end? But I had a great weekend. I hope that you guys had a phenomenal weekend. I got a chance to hang out with my goddaughter and my niece, 8 and 10 years old. And I can tell you, it was by far, we had a great time. And I think with kids, they bring out like a different side of me, like this extra soft side. Like kids can't do nothing wrong in my eyes, and I like kids and kids like me. So we had a great time, fun time. I got a chance to bond with them, and we did math together, we prayed together, and we just had fun. But over this weekend, I was just thinking about a lot of stuff, and I had a. I like to cook, so Sunday I made Sunday dinner, and invited close friends over, and I was just looking at some of my friends. I just kept looking at them, and I just went in this deep thought, and I just kept thinking like, none of these girls are nothing alike. What's the common denominator for our friendship? Like what makes us friends. So if I had to label this today, um, it will be What About Your Friends Part 2. And the subtitle will be What Makes Your Friends Your Friends. So I have a few girlfriends that I want to shout out today. If I don't shout you out, please charge this in my hand and not my heart. But it just these few girlfriends, and then I realized why they are my actual friend. Like I realized that it was like this light bulb that went off yesterday when I was in my kitchen and I was just cleaning. By the way, I'm like a cleaning lady. I clean all the time. If you ever come to my event, I always have like some spray on my hand and a cloth in the other hand, and I'm always like wiping as I go. But there's a few girlfriends I wanted to acknowledge today. The first girlfriend is her name is Shiki Nashiki. She's from Florida. I lived in Florida for 2 years, my ninth and 10th grade year in high school. And why is she like a close best friend? She's actually like family to me. But during that time when I moved to Florida from Philadelphia, it was just my family, and I didn't have my cousins there. When you're so used to hanging out with your cousins during the weekend, and then you realize that you don't have that. You can't just drive up the street or drive 15 minutes away and you're at a family member's house and you don't have that. It's like you are forced to, one, be closer to your intermediate family, which I did. And then in living in Florida, I met a young lady named Shiki. We had Spanish together. And I met her my freshman year in high school. Most of my friends at that time like 2 years older than me, so they were like juniors, seniors, and some were in college. And I met them like by going through parties and things of that sort. And my sophomore year, most of my friends were getting ready to go to college. They, their senior year, some already left. And me and her became really close. We were in Spanish together. My Spanish name was named Maria. I forgot her Spanish name, but we sat behind each other. And, after a while of being in her classroom, we just started to converse. I was like, oh, she seems pretty cool. And she invited me out to, Sunday dinner at her house. And after that, we just became inseparable. Like, if you see one, you see the other. We hung out all the time. But the thing that made me close to her is that she made me feel welcome. And her family made me feel welcome. And even though I didn't have biological family that lived in Florida, that was my family in Florida. And so for family events, I always got invited. If her mom bought her something, she would buy me something. I was like her bonus daughter. If they drove to the beach, I'm right there with them. And that was a great feeling. And so it was like, even though I was away from home, it felt like home at that time. And eventually I moved from Florida, went back to Philly and graduated from school there. But it was a great feeling. And to this day, we've met each other when I was like 15 years old, and we're still friends to this day. Like, still best friends. Her kids call me aunt. So yeah, that's one. Melissa. Melissa, we met our junior year in high school, and we had advanced English together. We had advanced English, AP English. And we were cool. We wasn't best friends in high school. We were just cool. We had the same classes. Senior year in high school, we had a advanced English class. We both got zeros on our Shakespeare paper. I broke down crying because I was like, oh my God, I never got an F before in my life. I'm not going to college. I'm a failure and everything. She was just like so calm. But when we went to Bloomsbury University for a tour, we went together. She came on the trip, and I was supposed to room with another friend. And at that time, she was there. I was like, hey, Melissa, do you want to be roommates? Sign the papers, our housing deposit. We became college roommates. And honestly, I didn't know that a best friend relationship would come out of that. And during that time, I was really yearning to be closer to God. And I grew up in church, and my aunt was the one that got me going to church. And once she stopped going to church, I needed someone to like pretty much hold my hand. And I was praying for this all the time. And when I became Melissa's friend, she was my answered prayer. And Melissa, she introduced me to church again. And I never forget, we were freshmen in college. We lived in a dormitory called Montour. It was like one of the dormitories that had like the big rooms and whatnot. And I had air because I had breathing problems, so our room was never hot. It was always cool. And I never forget one time, she was talking about where she lived. And I was like, wow, you live not too far from me. I live in Mount Airy as well. And she was like, yeah, I go to church such and such. I was like, oh, really? And she invited me. And I was like, okay. But I didn't think nothing of it. But when I went to church, her family was just like so welcoming. And anytime I go to church, I'm like, Sakina, sit with us. And it felt cool because I was far removed from the church, from not going for years into actually going back. And Melissa was the one that pretty much was that answered prayer when I asked God that I need to go to church. She was that holding hand for me. And I never forget when I decided to become a member of the church. I cried because calling a place home is big to me. I moved around a lot growing up. And no, my mom was not in the military, but I moved around a lot. So for me to be at a set place and stay there and be continuous, it was a big deal for me. And I never forget when I was like, I'm ready to become a member. I'm ready to go back to Bible study. Her mom was the one that walked me to the altar, and I cried. And that was a friend that I needed at that time. That was a friend that I prayed for, and God answered my prayers, and he gave me Melissa. And to this day, I was Melissa's maid of honor, her wedding. That is my best friend. My mom calls her her other daughter. We've been friends ever since then. But she was someone that I needed at that time. And then Tiana was, I met her in high school too. Met her my junior year. We didn't like each other, actually, to be honest. So before I came to Lincoln Hall, she was the math guru, I guess, in school. And then when I came, I guess I took her spot. So anytime we're in math class, I'm a teacher's pet. That's just always been me in high school. Like in grade school, high school, I'm like the smart kid. Like that's just who I am. Like you call me a nerd, whatever, but I really don't care. And when I was in math class, I always wanted to raise my hand because I wanted to answer a question. And of course I got it right. I mean, this is what I do. And she did not like that. So she would make little smart comments and whatnot. But Tiana was like that little sister for me. That was a person that that can get me out of my shell. Because I'm very reserved. And she's that friend that can get me out of my shell. And I never forget, like when I would go to parties, I would go to have fun. And then sometimes I would go because she was like a little sister to me and I wanted to protect her. But at the same time, she wanted to make sure that I had fun too. And then, let's see, I talked about Shiki, Tiana, Melissa, Shayna. Shayna is my best friend. We went to high school together in Philadelphia, Lincoln Hall. And Shayna, we encountered similar issues growing up and similar issues in high school. But the thing that I loved about Shayna was she was my support system when I went to college. Shayna didn't go to college with me. But when I needed somebody, because doing college by yourself without having any financial support is hard. And Shayna was that person, like, listen, she was that friend that didn't go to college, but she had a full-time job at home. And she's like, look, whatever you need, I got you. You don't got to worry about nothing. If I had issues with my car, she'll let me use her car. And she just was supportive. Like, Seth, you got this. I'm proud of you. Like, you're going to finish school. Like, you're going to finish school by any means necessary. Like, that was my friend. And then I met a young lady named Kaya. I met her in 2016. I actually met her over Facebook. And so I want to say around November, I was a part of this Facebook group called DMV Social. So pretty much if you live in the DC metropolitan area, it's a group where pretty much everyone joins, or if they live in the area or they party in the area, they're on this group. And pretty much it's a lot of events going on by the person that coordinated the Facebook group. So they have cool events. I rarely went to any of their parties. I went to one event that I was actually a part of. It was like a seminar, like a financial seminar. And I got a chance to meet some good people. So I went on that Facebook group in November. I introduced myself, introduced my services, like, hey, I'm an attorney, I do taxes, and I got so many feedback from it. And then I realized that, hey, there's a lot of people in Maryland that's from Philly. And we eventually branched off and created our own group called Philly in the DMV. It's a Facebook group. So if you are from Philly and you live in Maryland, DC, or Virginia, you could be a part of the group. And we use this group to look at football. So football season is like my time. Like, if you call me on Sunday, I probably won't answer because I'm at the bar, like with wings. And eventually, during that time, I didn't drink. So it was like wings and water. But now, you'll definitely see me with some wine or something else. And I met Kaya during this Facebook group. Now, 2016, if you listen to a few of my videos, 2016 was a major year. It was a bad year for me. I lost 6 people that I was really close to that year. One of the people that I was really close to was my stepbrother. He died over a drug overdose, July 20th of 2016. My primary physician, since I was a child, died. He was like 80, I want to say he was like 89, but he was like a grandfather to me. Those 2 people died. I almost lost my life. I had a pulmonary embolism in 2016, and the blood clot traveled to my lung. And honestly, I thought I didn't need any medical treatment. My leg actually swelled, but I just thought it was okay. I just thought I could just sleep it off. But if I didn't go to the doctors, go to the hospital when I did, I would have died. And I almost lost myself. I had so many deaths. I lost my job. I just felt like I was losing. I just felt like everything was just in shambles. So 2016 was, in the beginning, it was a really high year. It was a great year in the beginning. But in the end, it was just like, I felt like everything was just coming down so fast. And I didn't know how to control anything. And then I met Kaya. I met her in December 2016 at Buffalo Wild Wings in Bowie, Maryland. And that's when the Philly in the DMV group officially started. We had our first meetup there, looked at the games, and we just clicked. We realized our birthdays are 2 days apart. Her birthday's October 19th, my birthday's October 17th. And it was just something like her personality just clicked. And that was a friend that's like, girl, do you know how bad you are? But the reason why we became friends, honestly, was because during the time that I met her, I was at a low point. And I was trying to eventually pick myself back up again. And that was the friend that allowed me to see the light that I didn't see in myself. And we're still friends to this day. She loves my pasta salad. Anytime she's like coming over, she's like, can you make pasta salad for me, please? But she's like a big sister to me. And when I say she has my best interest, she has my best interest. And she supports my business. She supports me, sorry. She supports my business. She supports me mentally, emotionally. If I need her, she's there. And then I met a young lady named Olivia. Now, I met Olivia in November 2016. We started working at City Hall together. And we were in orientation. Now, throughout my career, most times I was like the only black girl at the job. And I rarely saw people that looked like me. And so this was like the first job I was able to see like black people. I was like, oh my God, yes, black girl, like I see you. And she was actually working on my floor. And even though I met her in 2016, we didn't start really to develop a relationship to the following year, and it got better as years transpired. But I never forget that when I met her, we got a chance to really talk. And every time I would go to any job, I always say good morning to everybody. I don't care if I'm having a bad day. Um, Anytime I see someone, I walk the door, good morning. I hope that you're having a great day. And I just go about my day. And I learned that from my old boss. But Olivia, when I would go to work, she would always smile. Hey girl, good morning. And sometimes I needed that because I was going through a lot at my job. Like, I had coworkers that didn't like me. They tried to get me fired. And it was just it was so much. It got to the point where I would drive to work and I would instantly get a headache. I could be okay driving to work, but it was just like this anxiety that built up going there knowing that I just can't wait till I get off, even though I didn't start my day. And I never forget one day I asked Olivia, I said, hey, sometime at work, if I need to just clear my head, I'll just take a walk by myself and I'll just listen to my music. And one day I was like, you know what, I wouldn't mind walking with someone. And so I asked her, I said, hey, Olivia, would you mind taking a walk with me? And that one walk, we were talking and we just talked about life. And I was like, wow, she's pretty cool. But I never forget we had to go back to work because we were on a short lunch break. And she found me on Facebook and said, I'm sorry that, our conversation had to come to an end. But if you ever need to talk to me, here's my number. And ever since then, every morning, they will wait for me because I lived like 45 minutes away. My other coworkers that wasn't a part of my team, they were like my team, even though we didn't work together. They would wait for me when I would come to work so we could all go out to get coffee together. So coffee was our routine. We would get up from our desk and see if we had any scheduled meetings, and we would walk together. And that was the best thing ever because I was going through so much at my job, and it just felt good to just take my mind off of it and just walk to the office. And even though her coworkers, we were in different agencies, they had my back. When I had issues, they were like, you know what, you need me to say something? I'm like, I got it. And I handled it. And then I thought about it, like, by mentioning all these girlfriends, like, what's in common? And I realized that the people that I consider really close to me, they're not the friends that I'm with if I want to turn up, if I turn up. But they're the friends that I know that I can count on. And no matter what, I know they'll be there. And it takes a lot for me to call somebody my friend. I'm very observant. I pay attention a lot, even if I don't say anything. And I want to ask you, what ingredients make a good friend to you? For me, it's about consistency. I don't talk to my friends every day. There's sometimes I may go months without talking to them, but I understand life happens, and I'm very mindful of that. And I think once I got in tune the importance of mental health, it made me become more patient and more understanding. And I had some friends who was just like, I know I haven't talked to you in a while, but it doesn't change the love I have for you. So we don't have to talk every day to be friends. We don't. We may not have to spend time with each other all the time. That's fine with me. But your loyalty, it means a lot. Can I call you if I need to vent? Can I do that? Can we laugh together? That's important to me. And those friends, they do that for me. And the thing is, and I realize that no matter where life takes us, I don't care if they move to Alaska. I don't care if they move somewhere that's 20,000 miles away. They will always be my good girlfriends. And the one thing that I realize is that you can meet somebody today and they could be the greatest friend for you than someone that you knew your whole entire life. So don't knock down establishing new relationships. I never forget, I was best friends with a young lady that I knew since I was in 3rd grade. We were best friends. And life happened. I mean, I wouldn't consider her a best friend now, but that's not a bad thing. we'll reach out to each other here and there on social media, and I'm just like, hey, I just want to let you know that I'm proud of you, and that's about it. But friends come in your life for a reason or a season. I had some friends that I was cool with. We're not cool no more because loyalty means everything. And once you are disloyal, then we can't be friends. Like there's no friendship at all, in my opinion. In my opinion, I treat people how I want to be treated, and my friends treat me how I want to be treated. And the thing is, I never had to tell them how I want to be treated. They just know me. But if I have a problem, I know that I can call one of them. They don't need no explanation. They just need to know the location. And so if you are watching this and you're one of the people that I mentioned, I just want to say that I love you and you mean a lot to me. But who are your friends? Who are the people that you can depend on? Because it's hard to find good friends. It's hard to find people that you can trust. But if you find them, hold on to them. I cherish my friends. Birthdays are a big deal. If you got a birthday, I'm celebrating with you. Whatever it takes. If I can't be there, I'm sending flowers. I'm sending balloons. If you are my close girlfriend, I'm going to be there. Unless something crazy happens where I can't. But that means a lot to me. And my friends, my good girlfriends, they do that for me. So who's your good girlfriends? Who's your good guy friends? Every guy needs a good guy friend. But most importantly, these women, they can check me at any time. And I'll always tell people, if you love me, you'll check me. Now, if you're disrespectful to me, I'm not gonna be disrespectful back, but I will check you. Because it's a difference between, holding somebody accountable and letting them know about themselves and then being disrespectful. But my friends, if you are my friend and you love me, you will put me in my place if I'm wrong. Because how can I grow if I keep, doing things incorrectly? So if you're my friend, check me. By all means, if I'm doing something wrong, tell me, Sakina, that's not cool. But I appreciate that. But that's what my friends do for me. And so my question to you is, what do your friends do for you? What is it? Are you someone that stay loyal based on the time that you know the person? Or you are loyal to people based on how they treat you? I'm here to tell you that it doesn't matter about the years that's invested. It's about the consistency and it's about the loyalty. So I pray that if you don't have that friend, I pray that you get that. And everybody needs a certain friend at a different time. And if you listen to all my stories, all my friends came at times that I needed them. And if you know me, I'm the person that people lean on. But it's good for me to lean on other people. Because I can't pour from my cup if my cup is empty. And these women, they pour into me. And they pour different things into me. And there may be times where they can't pour into me because they're going through their own life issues, which I totally understand. But I have other friends that's able to say, hey, you know what? Such and such don't got you, but I do. And when she gets to her normal self, then I'm pretty sure she'll be there. And I understand. So get you some good girlfriends, get you some good guy friends. Because your friends can make you better. So I hope that this was encouraging to you. I hope that you find those friends that you need. Anybody can find somebody to turn up with, but who can you find to pray with you? And that can actually pray for you. And that can actually be there. Those are the type of friends that I need. I'm not the friend that's going to say, hey, we need to turn up all the time. I want to know, you need me to pray with you? You need me to send you a scripture? What can I do to help you? Are you mentally okay? If not, you want to talk about it? Do you need to talk about this over the phone, FaceTime, or in person? That's the friend that I am. Because I need to make sure that you're mentally okay. If you're not, what assistance can I provide? No, I'm not a therapist, but I do know therapists. Do you want me to refer you to one? Therapy's cool. Therapy's pretty dope. I use therapy tools. I need it all the time. Those are the type of friends that I need, but that's the type of friend that I am. So I hope this encourages you. And if you're not a good friend, I encourage you to be one. Everybody needs a friend. And if you're watching this, I pray that you are that good friend. And I just pray that you're a good person. I hope that today is a great day for you. I hope that Tuesday brings you joy. I hope that Wednesday is amazing. I hope that Thursday is phenomenal. And I hope that Friday is spectacular. And I hope that your weekend is pretty lit. I pray that You never forget how amazing you are, even during this pandemic. I can tell you that sometimes I forget. I'm human. Sometimes I forget how dope I am. And sometimes I have to look in the mirror like, yo, I'm a dope ass chick. And I hope that you never forget that either. If you are a dope guy, you are a dope ass dude. But it's times like this that we forget. We look at all the craziness in the world, and we forget about our dopeness. We forget how amazing we are. We forget about the accomplishments that we have, and we just overlook it. And I feel like sometimes in the black society that we can't be happy for our accomplishments. We have to just like be low key about it. But no, if you got that job, own that and be proud of that. If you got that new relationship, whatever it is, be proud of that. If you realize that, hey, you recovered from domestic violence, be proud of that. If you realize that you recovered from the craziness in the world, whatever that may be to you, be proud of that. If you realize that you woke up and you were able to see a new day, be proud of that. Because while you were able to wake up, somebody was struggling to live. If you were able to open that business, be proud of that. If you was able to encourage somebody, be proud of that. If you were able to say, I love myself, be proud of that. You'll be surprised. There's a lot of nice looking people out here, but they don't love their self. And so when you see this, love you more, I need you to love yourself a little bit more. If you got to give yourself a hug to realize how amazing you are and hug yourself, be proud of that. If you had to cheer yourself on today because nobody didn't cheer you on, be proud of that. Pat yourself on the back and know that you got it. Know that you are amazing. Know that you are dope. And never let somebody tell you what you can't do. It's so funny because people would tell me, like, when you was in college, Sakina, you was like a prude, you were corny and all that. I'm proud of that because I'm happy with the woman I am today. I accomplished what I want and I stuck to the script. So that's you. Be proud of that. Yeah, when I was younger, I was like, dang, I wish I could go out and have fun. I wish I can party and turn up. But not once have I ever been on academic probation. Not once did I ever get a letter saying that, hey, if you don't pick your grades up, you out of here. And that was all through elementary school, high school. I mean, I got progress reports like, hey, you need to do better, but never to the point where it's just like, you're done, you're finished. College, law school, and grad school. And so I stuck to the script. Stick to your script. Be true to yourself. You accomplish something, be proud of that. If you're not, I'm proud of you. Take care, guys, and I hope that this encouraged you, and be great. Take care.